Welcome to the Liberty Lowdown. I'm Kay Walsh.
And I'm Jenny Smith. Nice to see you.
And you. L is for love. And a couple of weeks ago we did a little Liberty Lowdown about the new art prints that Liberty are selling. So you can go back and watch that and see what we've got to say about them. But they've arrived, the ones that Jenny and I ordered. So we thought we would share them with you today.
We haven't had a look yet, but they've come in these very beautiful boxes. New Liberty, well, they rebranded their logo not that long ago.
About a year ago, maybe?
Yeah, so nice and classy, feels good and sturdy.
Yeah.
And at the end, there's the little indication as to which print you've got, so we know we've got the right ones.
Yeah, you've got mine.
Oh!
Got yours.
Okay, right.
Okay, so I've pre-opened this one a bit, because you just have to get in there. Okay, it feels nice. Good quality paper. Oh, yes.
Hey, you've dressed to match it today.
I know.
Wow.
So that's the one called Freeze.
Oh, it's really nice.
Yes.
Quite big.
Quite big, yeah. I think it says they're 40 by 50 centimetres, aren't they?
I love actually how you can see the details, because I guess even on the fabric, like this is scaled up, isn't it? So
yes.
Even though you have this blouse and it's in the book, like it's just really nice, isn't it? Yeah, more than you see as to when it was originally created.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah. What we haven't figured out yet is frames. If there'll be some standard frames out there that will fit these prints, if you'll maybe want a mount board, because I guess you could pick out one of the colours depending on where it's going to.
Yours.
And mine is it's the archive print that's the new fabric called Edie is based on, which is the name of my daughter. So I just thought.
And this is La Jeunesse.
La Jeunesse, yes. Yeah. So personal.
Oh, that's pretty.
Connection. Nice.
Yeah, I do love it.
Yeah, they're really nice, aren't they? You can
properly see the printing on that one, can't you?
Yeah, the detail of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Very lovely. Blue should be you, really.
Well,
blue and yellow, which is also the colours we used for the book when we made our book. In the end, we were like navy and mustard.
Can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. It's a gorgeous combination, isn't it? And that does really stand out, doesn't it, in there as well? And they're based on poppies, I think, aren't they? Which is some of my favourite flowers. The poppies like that have just come out in my neighbour's garden. Those massive, gorgeous poppies that I love to see as well. Wonderful. So yes, we are loving.
We are loving
these prints. They're £30. The links are below if you want to click through and get them. We're not sure that any have sold out yet, but Liberty themselves have been doing quite a lot of promotion around it. People have been loving them online. All good things so far that we've heard about them. I is for interiors. How do you bring Liberty into your home and your daily lives? Well, one very good way, what I have done quite recently, is I have made our pattern, the Hepworth apron, in some Liberty linen, which is what I am wearing today. So many beauties on there. Kay and I this morning, we've just been like, all the classics. Eddenham's on there, Wiltshire, Mitzi, Strawberry Thief. There's a beautiful version of Thorpe. It's a really beautiful small scale floral. Danjo, like they're just really, really gorgeous. And I use this apron. I am no domestic goddess, it has to be said. So not so much in the kitchen, but when I'm sewing in my studio, I wear a Hepworth apron all the time because then I don't get covered in threads. I always have my snips and my phone in my pocket. So that's helpful, especially if I'm wearing clothes without pockets. And it's just a really comfortable, flattering fit. It is our best-selling product ever that we've created, isn't it? We've sold hundreds and hundreds of these all around the world because basically there's a sewing pattern in here, you get a woven label, there's full instructions, but also on my YouTube channel and on my website there are full video instructions of every single step to make this apron. So it is the perfect garment if you've never done any dressmaking before. The pattern is printed even where to put the pins, how to open it up, how to cut out fabrics, how to press, making French seams which are really neat inside. Aprons get washed a lot so it will never fray. Patch pockets, this nice front band here, every single thing. So it's a real stress-free project and all the people that have made it only ever say nice things in that they have learnt a lot from watching the videos and giving them confidence to dressmake. You've got a little bit more flexibility when you're making a garment like this, because you don't have to worry as much about fit as you would if you were making a skirt or a dress. So that's why it's such a good starting point. Liberty linen, definitely something to get excited about. £29.95 a metre, so basically £30 a metre, but 55 inches wide. Would also work fantastically for blouses, skirts, garments that you would buy in linen, but is great for our very own Hepworth apron.
B is for book, and this time we're talking about the berry quilt, which is behind me here. We decided that there had to be a quilt based around Wiltshire fabric because it's one of our favourites. So we looked at the print, and this time the quilt design is actually based around the fabric design. The berry quilt is a modern design with curves in it. So we took the inspiration, like I said, from the leaves, for example, here, and the berry shapes to create these motifs. Sewing curves can be a lot of fun, but sometimes out of people's comfort zone. So we thought it'd be nice to put something in the book that was a bit different and get you into a new skill. The solid fabrics you can see in the quilt here are the Oakshott Scandinavia collection. They're a beautiful muted selection of colours, and we just thought that they really make the Liberty pop. We love to see what you've been making, so if you've made a berry quilt, don't forget to share it with us.
E is for exciting news. If you want to sew the quilt from our book, The Berry Quilt, or any quilt that has some curvy elements to it, I used to avoid them when I looked through quilty books and think, no, we'll leave that for later. If you want to do that, we now have an online course about a beginner's guide to sewing curves, and it's taught by Jenni, who's also known as Papa Saxton, who is a brilliant, accomplished quilter, and curves are her thing. She is the queen of curves. She came over to the studio, we filmed the course with her. It's broken down into easy steps. It's on demand, so you can do it in your own time and revisit the lessons as many times as you want. So you can take that now at justonequilt.com. There's also some templates which Jenni designed especially for this quilt, which we've got on the Jenni Smith website, and you can buy those. The key to success is this trimming down square here, my favourite thing. I never sewed accurate curves until I took that course, used these templates, and it was all fantastically easy and all came together very nicely.
R is for retro. Continuing the Wiltshire theme of this episode, I've got on a vintage Liberty blouse in Wiltshire print. So if you go onto the likes of eBay, you can type in vintage Liberty blouses and you'll be really surprised at how many beautiful things pop up. I think I got this one for about £15 or £20. I love Wiltshire, as we've already said, so I was like, yes, I'm going to have that. And then I turned up at the studio wearing it one day, and Jenni was wearing this one,
which I already had,
and then which I'd forgotten, because Jenni, to be fair, does have a lot of Liberty blouses. So I then was a bit like, oh, I think we've got the same blouse.
I mean, this happens anyway. It is an occupational hazard that sometimes we're both in our Bretons and we just have a same...
It's a bit of a uniform, maybe.
Yeah, but slightly different.
A slightly different colour, which I don't know if it is just the vintageness of it, or
if it's a slightly different colour.
A different fabric, maybe.
Yeah, you might spot this in the book as well, because I wore this on the photo shoot. It's really comfy. I love a Liberty shirt.
Yeah, I've worn this loads since I got it, so absolutely you will get your value.
We shouldn't be giving all our secrets away. No. We'll all be outbidding each other now, fighting over the vintage Liberty shirts. But yeah, we do buy them now and again. And because the Tana Lawn wears so well, like I said last time, you will just find that, you know, they're still they've got loads of years of wearing them when you get them second hand, and just feel comfortable, don't they?
Yeah,
nice to wear.
And yours says that it is a Liberty blouse, doesn't it? Whereas mine is made by another company, and then it says underneath made with Liberty fabric, so don't be put off if you think it's not an official Liberty blouse. It will be made though with Liberty fabric.
Yeah, and my friend actually found this for me in a charity shop and texted me and said, Jenny, you sent me a photo, do you want me to pick up this one for you? I was like, oh yes, please. So yeah, retro Liberty shirts, tell us what you find. Don't forget that everything that we talk about and get excited about in these episodes, you can find out about them and click through the links. They're always in the description beneath this video to help you out.
T is for Tana Lawn, and look at these beauties I've brought along today. This Wiltshire print, as you can see, comes in so many colourways. You can fall down a bit of a rabbit hole, I think, if you go onto Liberty's website and other places that sell Wiltshire. People love collecting it. This is a little bit of my collection, which I don't know what I'm going to do with, to be fair, but I just...
No, you've been quite secret. Like, you obviously, I hadn't seen a lot of these, so you've obviously squirreled them away. Where's the day?
Oh, this is one of my absolute favourites. That is just...
Day glow.
Yeah.
She's a bit of an 80s queen,
I
to be fair.
I think I'm stuck in the 80s, to be fair. But I couldn't resist the bright neon pink of that one. So, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I don't think you can go wrong with a bit of Wiltshire in your collection.
No, Liberty have an office in Japan, in Tokyo, and the design studio in London spend a lot of time recolouring their prints for the Japanese market. So some of those are from Japan, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that Dayglow one possibly was, yes.
Yeah, and Robin at the Strawberry Thief in Australia, she's done some cool Wiltshires.
Yes.
And Alice Caroline here. So, yeah, it's just nice because if you love a print, I guess you could make a quilt like this dedicated to Wiltshire or just little, they just keep you happy. There are worse vices, aren't there, than buying a few.
And holding a little bit of fabric.
Yeah, and also Wiltshire is such an iconic silhouette that they've brought it out on the quilting cottons as well, on the Lazenby cottons. So you can, there's a mixture of colours here. There's about 30 colours that they've brought out so far. So in quilting terms, they're your blenders. They're your fabrics that you match in with prints that can offset prints really well, make them sing. They work nicely with Tana Lawn as well. And we chose Wiltshire. Are you bored of Wiltshire yet? We're not. We chose it for our slipcase for the book because it's really classy, and yes, it looks quite simple, but it's just that gorgeous Liberty classic silhouette that we love so much, and it went really nice with the Emily silhouette that goes inside. Y is for your makes. Back in March on World Quilting Day, I did a workshop and a blog for Liberty of London to make this simple patchwork heart. So how to piece it, and then you could turn it into a sweet coaster like this, perhaps bunting or a pin cushion. And there's a full tutorial of all the steps. If you go to Liberty London's Instagram and look on their highlights reels, there's a Jenni tutorial, so you can watch through those videos at any time. There's also a blog on the Liberty website that gives you the details of fabric allowances and what to cut and that kind of thing. Lots of people joined in, and we're going to share a few highlights of what people made now.
We hope you've enjoyed watching. If you have, you can subscribe to the channel on YouTube. All that means is that every time we put out a new episode or a mini episode, you'll get a notification, and we'd really appreciate it.
Don't forget that we have a gallery featuring the quilts from our book Quilting with Liberty Fabrics at the Festival of Quilts in the UK at the end of July. Go and check that out, get tickets and come and see us, and we will see you all again very soon. Keep curious
and love Liberty.